Hi everyone, my name is Elaine, and today I'm going to be telling you everything wrong with the Treasure Hunter class on Unison League that I could possibly think of. I'm just going to jump right into things. First off, there are no area attacks. Although a DPS class, the Treasure Hunter lacks area attack abilities, or attack abilities that target more than one enemy. This is pretty peculiar given the fact that many of the other classes have area attacks, like a mage's absorption for example. This lack can really slow down the average time it takes to complete quest runs, especially when there are multiple low-level enemies to crush, or enemies that can easily be taken out or controlled by an area attack. This causes me to feel as though one should always go with a class with an area attack in these types of situations. Number 2, they're glass cannons. Since the traditional build for a DPS class involves emphasizing your weapon and monster gear over defensive gear, there is often little room left for one's defenses. As a result, treasure hunters tend to deal out damage without being able to take any. In other words, they're often squishy. Thus, like the average archer, for example, they are often considered glass cannons. Number 3, they have a wide range of AP on abilities. The Treasure Hunter's attack abilities have a wide range of AP. Treasure Hunt has an AP of 160 when unenchanted, Circular Shadow has 110 to start, and Shadow Snatch has 60, just as a few examples. As a result, it can be hard to deal out damage when using certain abilities and playstyles if you don't have any buffs on your character. Number 4. The Treasure Hunter's abilities also have a wide range when it comes to their cost. For example, there's Treasure Hunt on the lower end with a cost of 10, Circular Shadow in the middle with a cost of 15, and Heart of Fortune and Cancel on the higher end with a cost of 25. As a result, it can be difficult to manage your cost if you're an inexperienced newer player or someone who lacks a cost recovery set and/or struggles to create balanced ability sets. This struggle can be magnified if a player's preferences are to use the abilities with higher cost values. EE and a cost recovery gear and monsters are definitely going to be these folks' best friends. Next, since players often follow the basic DPS build when using this class, it's easier to transition to if you started off as one of the DPS classes like the Lancer or Mage, as opposed to a support class like the Cleric, which tends to have a tankier build. Since the Treasure Hunter gains passive boosts to both magical and physical attack from lances, bows, and staves, it'll be a bit easier to transition to if you played as a Mage, Archer, or Lancer than the other starting classes, since you're bound to have more of these weapons than your non-Mage, Archer, Lancer counterparts. This can make building your character difficult, however. What are the best stats? The first ring favors magical attacks, the second favors physical as well as blended attacks, those that have both a physical and magical component. There is also one that does one or the other. It is important to note that there are more magical attack abilities than the others. So, the easiest answer is to pick a build that incorporates the build from your starting class. For example, if you started as a mage, keep your mage build and pick abilities that deal magic damage. It's also easier to make an ability set when you use a typical mage's build because there are more magical abilities than physical or blended ones. If you find that you prefer to use abilities that don't favor your starting set, meaning you started as a mage but prefer the physical attack abilities the Treasure Hunter has to offer, for example, you can make adjustments, but this can be an extremely slow and painful process for free-to-play players and players who are often unlucky when it comes to spawns especially. The time it takes to make these adjustments can also sap one's willingness to play the game and enthusiasm toward growing their character, which isn't exactly ideal. In sum, all of the different playstyles available to the TH can make it difficult to figure out how to play effectively and difficult to play if you don't start off as a mage, whose build and abilities are favored by this class more than the others who have weapons it gains passes from. Number 6. Now, about the item drop rate increase associated with some Treasure Hunter abilities such as Treasure Hunt and Devil's Kiss. I hear that the effect lasts a certain amount of time, so the sooner one's party kills the boss after the item drop increase, the better. It's never fun when you can't benefit from all your hard work and your expectations aren't met as you continue to struggle to get those juicy drops from often difficult, stingy monsters. Number 7. The Treasure Hunter lacks piercer abilities and moves that bypass nulls. This one also sets the class apart from other DPS classes. Many of the others have attacks with one if not both of these abilities. An example would be a Lancer's Break Thrust, which ignores both damage reduction and reflection. The Treasure Hunter's lack of an ability like this can make it difficult for them to reach their full damage output potential and to face enemies since they can't pierce through mere shields and bypass nulls without special gear and/or abilities supplied by one of their monsters or that of one of their teammates. Number 8. Since the Treasure Hunter is one of the newer classes, there are limited pieces of gear with TH-specific abilities and skills. This can be frustrating for players who want to replace their basic attack ability and can't because they can't get their hands on one of these gear pieces, and those that simply want to boost to their current class, which can only be provided by one of these gear pieces. Last but not least, the Treasure Hunter is one of the few classes with only 2 rings. As a result, there are less abilities to choose from to meet your needs, which can make it harder for players to build their ideal set. As a result, the Treasure Hunter may need to borrow more from other classes than some of the other classes with more of their own abilities at their disposal. And there you have it, everything I feel is wrong with Unison League's Treasure Hunter class. What did you think of my video? Did I mention everything you would have said or have I left something out? Let me know down below in the comments. I always like to know what you guys think. And if you like what you saw here today, please smash that like button until it's blue, subscribe, ring that bell so you'll know what's up, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye guys!